kick, I snap into action. When I'm digging in the trenches, get dominated off the line of scrimmage. Read and react quick to make it early diagnosis. Hit you with the quick release like Marino Danny dopeness. Explosive change of direction in the true essence of Reggie Bush. From JT and ZT to DVP and AVG. Terminator to a quarterback, Hunter JP. Steve Ross, the boss, King Flow, and card slinging, gambling genius, Slick Chris Greer.
That's what's up.
Welcome back to Digging in the Trenches. You are live now with JPF Scout and my main man, Reggie Brown, the co-host here today, every day on this show in Digging in the Trenches. Welcome, man. How you doing, man? It's been since last week since we talked. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. You know, I had to get through Monday and Tuesday and half of Wednesday just to get my mind back right from the San Francisco game. But I'm back right and I'm ready to go, bro.
Hell yeah, man. It's good to hear. So last weekend you were doing some fishing, I noticed, man. So how did that trip go? Did you catch some fish?
We killed them, man.
Absolutely, dude. That's what I want to hear, baby.
We went and caught some Texas redfish, some speckled trout, and some flounders, and it was all good, man. Great trip.
Hell yeah, man. Did you get back and have yourself a little fish fry afterwards?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Ain't nothing like fresh fish, man.
Oh, yeah, man. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad you had a good time going out there catching instead of just doing some fishing, right?
Hey, I don't go fishing, man. I go catching.
Hell yeah. What's up, JPF Scout and Reggie Brown and everyone in the chat? Canes, Dolphins at 1989. Hey, man. Well, glad to have you here, part of the show. Welcome, man. It's all aqua and orange over here, baby. We love to have you. On today's show, obviously we're going to be talking Dolphins. We're going to be talking the upcoming game of the Dolphins and Chargers and the key matchups, and we'll stack those bricks. Maybe talk a little bit about the game last weekend. Just touch on it a little bit. We won't beat a dead horse or nothing like that. But after last weekend's game, Reggie, I mean, me and you talked last weekend. And we were talking about if they didn't have a good game plan going into it for Nick Bosa, that it was going to be a long day. Seeing how that thing went down, do you think maybe they should have used a little bit more 12 and 13 personnel packages and maybe sent a little bit more help over toward Brandon Shell's side?
Yeah, it was interesting, the game plan. Like you saw running backs trying to block Bosa, and, you know, that was interesting. And then and I think Mike McDaniel admitted that he got away from the run. You got to just, you know, he's a young coach. He's still learning, first year in the play calling. And it was difficult because on the one hand, the plays that he was calling, wide receivers were wide open. And, we had a lot of good stuff going. So you could nitpick the game planning, but we still should have won that game. I mean, you make a few plays on offense, make a stop here on defense, and we win the game. So he's growing, and I think he'll get better from that experience.
I agree. I think the whole team actually is going to learn a little bit from this. I think we needed this to happen to us. I think we're going to learn a lot from the loss and grow from it, as you're saying. I think it's going to harden them, you know what I mean? Like make them harder going into the rest of this gauntlet that we're facing, which is our schedule. I think every game that we're playing from here on out basically is a playoff game. I think they need to stay hungry and stay, active to what their coach is asking from them. I agree with what you're saying. I think he's just a rookie head coach, a lot kind of compiled on all of them at once. And then the end result obviously is not what they wanted. But I think they'll turn the page quick, and we might have taken an L last week, but this weekend we bounce back.
Yeah, I think you make a great point. Championship team, championship culture is built, and it's built on going through something, right? It's built on having these experiences and learning from them. And so, as you said, this is part of the process, and we're going through that. And I think, as you correctly state, we're going to be a much better team because of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's nothing for a team that's handed something every damn week if you don't face adversity and you're not facing things that are, making you better. This is making us battle tested, not only from a player's standpoint, but from a coaching staff standpoint, from a trainer's standpoint, from everybody who's involved in the building to see what it's going to take to go on the road and win these football games.
Yeah.
Man, let me ask you this. I know you've seen the news coming down during the week about us acquiring Eric Fisher. Um, Number one, it's kind of a two-part question. Do you like the signing of Eric Fisher? And do you think that it'll actually boost us to where we want to go and help us along the way?
I love the signing. Certainly he's a former Pro Bowler. He's a guy that has played in this league for many years, and whenever you're able to provide quality depth, and depending on what happens at right tackle, maybe a starter, you just improve this team. I mean, you help so much with for so many different aspects. There's the coaching involved that he gives the younger players and helps
True.
them through that, and the understanding is how to be a professional. It's all of those things that he just brings to the table. And then again, Karen Armstead, having someone you can trust should he go down again, the pack, whatever, having a veteran at that position, and then having somebody who can hopefully swing from left to right is just huge. I mean, I wish we would have made it a lot earlier, but hey, we got him now.
That's right. Better late than never, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think the experience alone that the guy brings to the table is it's worth its weight in gold. He has 128 starts in this league.
Uh-huh.
I think Teron Armstead would agree with me and you as well that he brings a level of comfortability with knowing how to play football, knowing offense, knowing how to defend certain pass rushers. And not only that, but he's a great, mean run blocker. Do you think that could expand the role for our running game a little bit as well? Can you touch on that a little?
Well, if I'm not sure yet what the right tackle will bring. They say going from right tackle to left tackle and vice versa is pretty tough. But again, he's a professional, and so he'll pick that up if that's the case. If he does, I mean, Shell has been playing well. He's had ups and downs as a guy. He's a backup guy, but a solid one.
Yeah.
But getting again Fisher at the right tackle just boasts of everything. He's a professional. He's a dog. He's gonna fight. He's a mauler type of guy. And so if he can get on that side and really, really get going, man, again, it seems like Flo, who took a lot of criticism, is pulling all the right strings, man. He's doing the right things. He's finding players. He's plugging them in and giving us a chance to win. And with the depth and the experience of our team and the leadership, we've been able to hang in there with a plethora of injuries.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, Chris Greer's doing his due diligence to find us players here and there, even out of those, the scrap heap.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? Right there off the street as well. So, man, I'm pretty excited about this game coming up.
Yeah.
We've been flexed out to a Sunday night game.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this game going into it? I know that we just coming off this W, but do you got a good feeling about like where we're at as a team and the direction going forward of us? What do you think?
We're entering this stage of a team building process where you just have to be who you are. And if you are who you are, the Miami Dolphins are good enough, right? They're good enough to be any team on any Sunday. And so for me, it's continuing to build on that. And I don't necessarily worry about the competition anymore. I worry about us being us. If we block, if we do the things that we know how to do, we can beat any team. And so, I feel really good about this game for a lot of reasons. I want to see Tua with the bounce back game. I want to see Mike McDaniels mature from the last outing. I want to see what Fisher has. So, I want to see the running game again. So I'm really excited about all the things that's going to happen in this game.
Right. That being said, too, if it was up to you from a managerial standpoint and a coaching standpoint, knowing that we got to come from Los Angeles across the country and then to Buffalo, and we're going to be playing that game. I think it's flexed Saturday now.
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable starting Eric Fisher and resting Teron Armstead for this football game?
Man, that's a very tough and good question. I will tell you that for me, if Terran Armstead says I'm ready to go and the doctors check off on it, you got to go. You can't, football is such a crazy sport. You can't predict injuries.
Mhm.
Certainly, you can try to the best manage it, but if he's ready to go, he's ready to go.
Absolutely.
And so for me, I'll worry about Buffalo when I get to Buffalo, but the Chargers are on the slate this week, and that's who I'm preparing for, and I'm taking all my bullets with me.
Absolutely. So you're on the theory as I'm just going to go ahead and empty the tank now. Ralphie, my boy, what's up? What's happening, gents? How's it going, Fins fans? Cat to life in the house too. Thirsty. What's going on, you guys? Glad to have all of you guys in here, man. Don't forget to give us a like on your way in and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We love all of you guys here, man. We love all Dolphins fans. You guys rock. You're watching Digging in the Trenches live with JPF Scout and my boy Reggie Brown. We're going to keep things rolling here, but we'd love to have you guys in the comment section. And if you want to make a comment, we'll speak on those too. So, man, let me see here. When we start go ahead, Reggie.
Yes, you guys who watching us, man, and getting this excellent football talk, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about us, man. It's all Dolphin, back and forth. We know the game. Get your people involved and let them see us, and I know they'll be happy about what we bring in for the Dolphins.
Damn right, dude. Took the words right out of my mouth, Reggie. Absolutely. Yeah, Fins up, Winsy. Hey, how's it going, man? Fins up, everybody. Thank you for joining us this weekend. When we start looking at this game going on Sunday night, what's the one thing, and maybe it could be a couple of things, a variety of offense or defense, but what's the one thing that you're going to be looking for the Dolphins to establish?
Well, the one thing, the first thing that I want to see, and I'm not worried about it, I just want to see is our quarterback being our quarterback, right? Tua being who he is, right? And so really, from the first snap, establishing that was a bad game and I'm back and out. This is a bounce back game for me. And then secondly, I'm convinced we can throw the ball against anybody, right?
Absolutely.
There isn't a defense that can hold our offense when we're playing the way we play. So for me, it's really going to be every week about the running game. That's what I want to see, us getting that going, and we don't have to have a 200-yard game. We don't have to have a 150-yard game. We have to have a consistent running game that keeps defense honest, that allows us to run our play action and do the things that we like to do. So I'll be looking for the running game mostly. And then defensively, I think it just comes down to making plays. You know what I mean? We had, in this last game, we had, Chubb could have got a sack or two, and, we missed some sacks, we had some untimely penalties, really it's just making plays on defense. We play good enough, we fight good enough, but I don't think that we make enough plays defensively to really support our offense.
Yeah, I agree with that. We need to make the plays when they're presented to us. If you get your hands on a football and you got a chance at an interception, you need to make that catch. You get your hands on a quarterback trying to scramble out of the pocket, you need to bring him down to the ground. We need to start going all out and doing all of those things that you just said right there. I'm in total agreement with that. Cap for Life said, run the football and establish a lead. I agree with you, Cap. Absolutely. What I want to see is I want to see us come out there. If we get the ball right off the bat, I want to march down the field and I want to score. That's the first thing I want to see. Like you said, confirmation that Tua's back. He's in rhythm. Everything's as is and as normal. From a special team standpoint, I'd really like to see better coverage, and please just give me a 5,
anything.
6, anything.
Man. Just something, man.
Here you go, Cat for Life. Do you guys think that the activation of Mike Williams is going to affect the secondary? No, I don't. I absolutely think it's going to be game on as usual. They already had a plan for Mike Williams. I think they're going to stick to that game plan. I think the game plan for Mike Williams probably be somebody like Keon Crossing or Justin Bethel. Here's another one from Cap. Will Bradley Chubb make a difference? Yes, especially in this game, Bradley Chubb's going to make a difference. He's going to be resetting the line of scrimmage and winning his one-on-ones. Now, when he gets to the quarterback, Justin Herbert's a bigger quarterback. Bringing him down to the ground is going to be a whole nother issue. I would, in this game especially, I would definitely have a game plan to keep the mouse in the house. I don't want the mouse getting out of the pocket, scrambling around, making plays with his feet, and making plays outside of the pocket with his arm. So they're going to have that bottled up. What do you think, Reggie?
Yeah, well, it's two things. One is, they have two offensive linemen out, I believe, and so that's gonna, I think, free Chubb up, to make plays, because you got to, support and help out the guys that are coming in and playing for them. But then on the flip side of that, when you do get pressure because your offensive line is down, their offensive line is down, and we get pressure, now that puts him in getting outside the pocket and running and doing all of those things. So it's a double-edged sword when we're going to get that type of pressure. But to your point, if we tackle and keep him in the pocket, he's a bigger guy, we should be good. But he's going to scramble, so that, like you said, when we get our hands on him, we got to bring him down. Get out.
Yep. Here's a question for you, Reggie, from Dolphins Thirst. It's a good one. Reggie, I know as a former player, you and the coaches did not talk about it being a must-win during the regular season. But as a fan, is this a must-win for the Dolphins?
Well, one, fan, professional, novice, when games are important, nobody have to talk about it. You know what I mean? Everybody know what it is. And
that's right.
I don't see this necessarily as a must-win game. I mean, if we lose, we can still, win out, and we're good. But in terms of the psyche of a football team, coming down this stretch, it is very important that we bounce back, we get rid of the losing, because you get two bounce, you lose two against two good teams or decent teams, and then all of a sudden doubt starts to seep in. You're making the right decisions, and then you have all of these questions. So from a psyche position, it's a must win. But from a the schedule and the games left, I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree with you, Reggie. I think it's from a mental standpoint, it's a definite must win. But from a mathematical standpoint and everything, no, we'll still be alive. Ralphie, my boy, hello, Thirsty. We need to establish that running game. Yes, buddy, we do need to establish that running game. We need to get it going and lean on it when we need to. You know what I'm saying? When we need 5 yards, I want to be able to hand the ball off and get them. When I need a third and short, I want to be able to get that third and short. When I need a fourth and short, I want to be able to get that too. So they're going to need to change the way they're doing things up a little bit on short down situations. What do you see happening right there, Reggie, on short down?
Well, I think that there's no reason why we should not be running it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I believe totally believe in the passing game. And because of the belief in the passing game on third and 10 or whatever, I feel confident we're going to get the first down. So that's why we can run it on first down or run it on second down, because we are so good on third down. And, you run it first and second down, you pick up 1 yard, 3 yards, you feel good about 3rd and 7, you feel good about 3rd and 11, so there is no reason why we shouldn't be running, but the benefits of us running it just opens up so much more in the passing game. So I hope that, Mike McDaniels, he's a gunslinger. You can tell with his 4-quarter calls and all that. I mean, he got a pair of them, man.
Absolutely.
He went for fourth and whatever on the 18th.
Yeah, I was going to ask
early in the game. So this dude is a gunslinger, man.
What do you think about that call?
Hey, man. that's trusting your team. And again,
Oh, yeah.
that's why we can run it, right? Because his trust in his guys. I mean, he trusts his guys to get a first down at the 18. So then you can trust them to get it on third at the 50, where we can run the ball a few more times and establish some things. So,
Right.
yeah. But
Here's a good question right here from Sam S. Chargers always play well and competitive late in season when their playoff hopes on the line. I think Miami is forced to throw a lot, even with poor lack run defense. Will Hill or Waddle be the leading receiver? Yes, I think Hill will be the leading receiver, but I think Waddle will be right behind him. I think they're going to exploit those two matchups for everything that they're worth. Yeah, the Chiefs are competitive late in the season. I'm not sure if I'm sold that we're going to have to throw it a lot, but I think we'll throw to beat you from a mismatch standpoint. Chargers defense struggle with the run. Yeah, they do struggle with the run, and that's why I want to run it on them as much as we possibly can. I want to run the football, establish the run, and then work off of short yardage situations in third and shorts. What do you think, Reg?
Man, that was a great question. First of all,
It was.
which one between Waddle and Cheetah? Sometimes I feel bad for Waddle because and not bad in a bad way, but just Cheetah is so wide open. You know what I mean? Like this dude, and Waddle is wide open too.
Mhm.
But the ratio is gonna be 3-1. They're gonna throw 3 to Cheetah, 1 to Waddle, 3 to Cheetah, 1 to Waddle, and we would be just effective the other way if we threw 3 to Waddle and 1 to Cheetah. And I think Waddle. One of the things that I really like about him is his big playability in terms of averaging 17, 18 yards a catch, whatever that number is. And so, it's always interesting to see how that works out. And then I don't think we need to throw it a lot, but we can. I really think the running game, establishing the running game, is just good for the team as we move forward. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, it's.
Don't you think that would be something we're going to want to establish going forward?
Yes.
Is some running game to take the pressure off of our young quarterback to
Yeah.
be like, well, hey, we can run it for 7-8 yards right here. Let's just hand it off.
Yeah, I just think that it's good for the offensive line. Love it. It again just opens up so much, and then again, in the weather games, you gotta establish a run there, and so
Yes.
even though I think we'll be able to throw it in whatever kind of weather, as long as it ain't raining, we'll be fine.
Right. Exactly.
So I just want to see the running game get going for all of the things that it does. It keeps our defense off the field, establishes a physical presence. It does all of those things. So hopefully we can get it going.
That's right. And not only that, but then it tires down your defense. So then in that fourth quarter, man, you can just kind of do whatever you want to do.
Right.
You can bring in your closer and just run them right down.
Right.
But it's a perfect time for us to jump into the next segment here, which let's ready to stack up some bricks for this Chargers game, my man.
Let's go.
Let's do this. Let's stack them up. So right now I have the Dolphins, after they just acquired Eric Fisher, at 46 bricks, and I have the Chargers at 33 bricks. When I look at this matchup, man, honestly, we'll start right from the beginning here, which is just digging in the trenches, baby. We're going to go right down to the line of scrimmage.
Let's go.
Seiler versus Chubb. I'll take Chubb. He's got my key there. Feeler versus Wilkins. I'll take Wilkins. Then you got their center, Lindsey. He's an animal beast, probably one of the best centers in the league, versus Davis. I'm going to take Lindsey right there only because of his reputation. Then you go over to the rookie. I think his name's Zion, something. Johnson versus Sealer. I'm going to take Sealer right there. Easy one right there, huh? Pipkins versus Jalen Phillips. I'm going to take Jalen Phillips. So across their line, I'm giving them the center, and I'm taking everybody else on our side of the ball. What you think, Reg?
Man, enough can't be said in my mind about Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer. Man, those two dudes, I mean,
Awesome.
I just love watching them play. When you
Me
talk
too.
about digging in the trenches, man, and just seeing guys get after it and fight, fight their ass. I mean, I love seeing Wilkins and Cedar play, man. They feed off each other, and you got to bring your lunch and that interior. And I would give their center the edge, but he better be ready come Sunday because those dudes,
They're bringing it.
they bringing it, man.
Yeah, they sure are, man. That's pretty much a wash between me and Reggie, our defensive line versus their offensive line.
Yeah.
Let's keep it rolling here. We'll stick with the offensive side of the ball for the Chargers. So when they have the football, this to me is one of the biggest matchups and weapons that the Chargers have and possess, and one that you need to bottle up. And that's going to be Eckler versus Robertson, Jerome Baker. I'm going to take Eckler here, but very, very, very slight edge to Eckler. I think our linebackers are playing a little bit better. They need to play better, though. I think they're great run stoppers. Well, Jerome's not as great as a run stopper as Roberts, but I think where they lack is in the coverage. Then you also have to take into consideration that the Chargers have an animal at fullback. A lot of people probably don't know about this kid, but his name's Xander Horvath. He was from, I think, Purdue. I liked him a lot coming out. You're going to need to have an eye accounted for this kid as far as lead blocker, passes out of the backfield. He can hurt you just like Kyle Juszczyk can. I think it's something you're going to have to be prepared for. Meaning a Landon Roberts and Jerome Baker. Yeah. If you see that fullback coming at you, you're going to have to go in there and stick your nose in the fan. And that's just how it's going to be. Yeah. What you think about those two?
Yeah, well, so Austin Eckler concerns me a little bit more than he concerns you. I think that the guy has, 80 catches, 75 catches this year?
Yeah.
And so they want to get him the ball out in space, and that concerns me with our linebackers. And they throw it to him early and often and allow him to make plays. And so I'm wondering what our answer is going to be for that. So I give him a little bit more advantage. The run game, our run defense against their run offense will be fine.
Sure.
But when you think about Eckler in the backfield, out in space, that's a concern. And like you said, that fullback they got. I mean, I looked at the all 22. I mean, he's just smashing people, man.
He will kill them.
Yeah, he make you shot.
That's right.
That first play of the game, everybody's busting in there. By the second quarter, you don't see them linebackers coming with their thump no more because they're after it. So
yeah,
I give him an edge. But really, just because Austin in the space concerns me.
Yeah, you give him an edge out of the backfield catching the football. I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Same side of the football, but different player, different position. Gerald Everett versus Eric Rowe. I'm going to take Eric Rowe here, but it's with a short leash, being like, bro, when you get a chance to tackle somebody, you really need to tackle somebody. I got a feeling Eckler gets injured early, cap for life. I never want to see anybody get hurt, man, but if they gang tackle him, you never know what's going to happen down there. What do you think about the Everett-Rowe matchup?
Reggie? Yeah, like you said, I don't think that's going to be a big part of the game. This year he's caught 43 passes. He'll make a play here and there. Eric Rowe should be able to, like you said, handle him.
Yes.
He'll be able to handle him. I guess the biggest concern would be in the red zone with him. He makes some red zone catches, but I think, we will handle him.
Right. All right, let's jump over to the other side of the football, which is going to be, wait a minute. No, wait, we're not done. We're done. We got to do the receivers. That's right. Keenan Allen versus Xavier Howard. I'm going to take Xavier Howard. I think the kid's name's Josh Palmer versus Kader Kohu. I'm going to take Palmer on this side of the football here just because of an experience matter. Then we had a comment on there asking about Mike Williams. Here it is: Mike Williams versus Crossan, and I'm going to take Mike Williams as a slight edge right here. So I got Howard over Allen, and Palmer over Kohu, and Williams over Crossing. What do you got?
Yeah, I think the X and Keenan will be a really, really good, test. I can see this being a game, that X wants to compete. This is it's been a while since he's played against this, number one receiver.
Right.
So I'd like to see that matchup. And I know they try to give him the ball and they throw him in crossing routes and everywhere. So that'll be a really, really good matchup. And then I would say they have you have to factor in the front four and getting pressure and all of that kind of stuff. So if we get pressure, we'll be fine. I don't see them beating us though bad with the receivers. I think we can handle our own.
Right. So you think the pressure would actually overcome Palmer and Williams not taking advantage of us?
If Williams is really healthy and ready to go, he's a matchup nightmare. He's a big guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So yeah, he's a force to be breaking with. But for us, they win. They have the edge if everything is neutral. I just think that we're gonna be able to get some pressure on them. That's gonna tilt it back to average, or we having the edge.
Yep, I agree with that. Then the last one for their offense, which is I kind of like to do these for fun every week, but it's you never know. But it's like Herbert versus Javon Holland if you're taking that quarterback free safety matchup look. Orlando Mass, what's up, guys? I hit that like button. I was trying to read that one. What's up, guys? I hit that like button. Great job with the content. Thank you, Mr. Mass. We love you here, man. Thanks for joining us. Love to have you on the show. But I'll take Holland over that matchup there with Herbert. Right then and there. I mean, what do you think about that one? That's the last one on that side.
Yeah, Holland is being asked to do so much in the defense to help out over here and, all of that. And so, while he's playing good, there's been a drop off just because he's been asked to do so much to protect the defense. But, I plan on seeing him in the fourth quarter pick Herbert. And
oh yeah, I love that, man. I love that prediction. I think you're onto something right there, you guys. Listen to my man right here. He's calling Holland a late fourth quarter pick on Herbert. Yeah. You heard it here first.
Yes, but I think that I would give that a wash. Both of them are good football players, and and so we'll see who was able to make the last play.
That's right. All right, man, let's go. This is the moment of truth. We're going to the offensive side of the football for the Dolphins and the defensive side of the football for the Chargers. We don't know the injury situation with Teron Armstead, so we don't know if he's going to start. We don't know if Eric Fisher's going to start. So I have this listed as Fisher or T-Stead versus Khalil Mack. Because of the situation that's going on with T-Stead and that he's going to be playing injured if he is even playing, and this would be his first game if he is going to get any action, I'm going to go ahead and take Mack only because of those two things I just said right there. Now, will that mean that he will dominate us? No, that just means he might have a little bit better of a game than we expected, and that Fisher or T-Stead could hang with him, but I give him Mack the slight edge. Now let's go over to the left guard side, which you got Jones. I'll take the key there versus Fihoko. Fihoko is a beast, though. He's going to have to be on his game right there. Then I don't know if Joseph Day is going to play, but I'm gonna put it like he is. So we'll have Connor Williams versus Joseph Day. I'm going to take Connor Williams down there. He's a dog. He's been playing good for us all season long. Then the next matchup I have is Robert Hunt versus, I think the kid's name is Morgan Fox. I'm going to take Robert Hunt right here. Then over to the last side of it, which would be Brandon Shell versus Kyle Van Noy. Van Noy can bring it. We all know his abilities and what he brings to the table. He can rush the passer. He can stop the run. He can be a constant irritant in your side. I'm going to take Shell. I'm going to take Shell right here. So that would be me taking 4 of our offensive linemen to their 1 defensive lineman, which is Mac. What do you think about that down low matchup there, Reg?
Yeah, I think that our interior is really good, and then if Taryn plays, that certainly bolsters it. But the key to it is containing Mac, uh, making sure that he's had a decent year. I think he got 7 sacks or so, 8 sacks, like that, and so he hasn't been a total game wrecker as he had been in the past. So as long as you keep him, he's going to make a play because he's a really good football player. But contain him, and then I think we should be fine.
Right. Man, you know what? I don't want to jump off a subject here real quick, but I got a quick question from the last game to ask you from the Niners matchup, and then we'll do the rest of these bricks. But you remember us talking how I was like, man, I want to run the ball right at Bosa. I want to run the ball right at him. Do you think maybe they should have went with some sort of a game plan to not be scared of him and just go right at him?
Yeah, well, so like they only ran it 8 times.
Yeah,
so,
that's not enough.
Yeah, that's not enough in any football game.
No.
That's like just the college run and shoot. Just throw it every down.
Right.
So that's not. We're built for it, but that's not a winning formula for us.
Absolutely.
I think we got to have a minimum 15 rushes. At the minimum, and the more that we increase the percentage run the pass, the better we are as a football team. And so I suspect, again, that this is something that Mike McDaniels learned from, and really said, hey, one of the things when I was an offensive coordinator, when I coached at Delaware State was, I would tell my, running backs coach, hey, man, remind me to run the ball. I'm a receiver, I like throwing that ball around. So I would tell him, hey, man, don't let me just keep throwing it, put it in my mind, keep it on my mind. And so I imagine that the offensive staff is going to be like, Mike, run the ball.
You got to run it. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Man, I love hearing your stories because I agree with it wholeheartedly, man. Especially you right there. Like, I'm a receiver, so I'm a receiver at heart. I want to air the ball out, man. Yeah. So I had to have people reel me back in and be like, hey, man, you need to run the ball, stay balanced. Yeah. Absolutely, bro, because it's the only way to be balanced on offense and be successful is to have that balance. But we'll keep going right here. Keep stacking bricks. I was just curious on what you thought about that. But same side of the football, we got Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson versus Murray and Drew Tranquil. I'm going to take our running backs over their linebackers, but I do like the Tranquil kid. I think he's good. I think he's scrappy. I think he can make tackles and make plays. So you got to be prepared for this guy. In the same backfield, we're going to go with Alec Ingold versus that same pairing, which would be Murray and Tranquil, because that's going to be their responsibilities. I like Mostert, Wilson, and Ingold versus their linebackers. What do you like?
Well, first, Alec Ingold versus anybody.
Bam! Knock him out, baby.
He's a dog, what I mean?
Dog.
He get out the backfield well. So, he's just an all-around great guy, blocking all of that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
And then, for us, who wins this matchup really depends on how we use our running backs. Are we going to insert them into the game? Are we going to, run the zone and run the cutback and run this stuff? And then are we going to, put them in the flats and, get the arrow routes and get them the ball in space? And I think that, again, one of the challenges of the offense is Waddle and Tyreek are so good that you just get enamored with it, that you just want to continue to pump them the ball because they're going to make plays. And I think as we, go deeper into the season, we got a lot of players on our team, most in the flats and getting the ball in his hand as an athlete, and with the speed that he has, just making some plays. And, Jeff Wilson is a physical guy who can catch the ball in the flats and get us yards. So I really think that the challenges for Mike McDaniels is to remember that we have a lot of good offensive players.
Yep. Yeah, it seems to me like there's not enough footballs to go around sometimes, right? Like
it's so hard, and it's so hard. Tyreek is always open.
They're always open, and you want to feed the guys that can make plays for you. So it's like you can't really knock them from going to the playmakers. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just natural. You're like, oh, this dude makes plays. Well, I'm going to give you the ball. And you want those receivers too that are like, give me the ball. I can make a play. I want the ball. That's the dude I want to feed, man. That's the dude I'm giving the ball to because he's going to make a play for you. So I agree with it, man. But this game is a must to run. Chargers have a tough time stopping the run. Yeah, we need to run the ball.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that if Tyron is healthy and ready to go, and when we talk about running the ball, as an offensive lineman, you don't forget that.
No, hell no. So, you know how to do that.
Fisher, if he plays, is going to serve us well in that area too, because he's a mauler and he's a good run blocker. So I think that early and often we're going to try to establish the run, and I think we're going to run it and do well there.
I do too. All right, man. We're gonna keep going the same side of the football. We're almost done here, and then we'll get to those pregame predictions. The tight ends. Let's go down there. Smythe and Gesicki versus Derwin James. I heard Derwin James is doubtful to play the game. So if that's the case, then obviously I'll go to Smythe and Gesicki. But I'm gonna act like Derwin's gonna play right here. So I'm gonna take Derwin James on that matchup between Smythe or Gesicki. What do you think about that small matchup?
Yeah, he's a good football player, and he does so much for their defense. He's one of those guys similar to Holland that you can put him in different plays and ask him to do a lot of things and blitz and robber and all of these kinds of things. So, he's a really, really good football, and we don't have to know football player, and we don't have to know where he's at.
Absolutely, man. When I scouted that kid, dude, I was like, wow, this kid can play like almost every linebacker position, almost every deep back position. Hell, he'd probably play some cornerback for you in the slot if you needed him to. So that kid is legit, dude. I love me some Derwin James. Yeah, he's a football player. And you're going to have to identify him if he plays in the game where he's at on every single snap. So just make that note to yourself mentally right there. But as we've played every week this season, and I will continue to play my unicorns, I got Tyreek Hill versus Samuel. I'm taking Tyreek. I got Jalen Waddle versus Davis. I'm taking Waddle. And going to the slot, Sherfield versus Callahan. I'm taking Sherfield. And the two ones that stick out to me on those three where I think we can really eat and like we have a big time mismatch opportunity. It's like night and day would be the Waddle versus Davis and Sherfield versus Callahan. I think Sherfield's going to have a big game right here if he's fed any snaps and any targets out of the slot. I think he's going to eat. What you think?
So this is where you say Mike McDaniel got to keep the run on his mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at the fact that their defense plays man to man.
We're going to throw it.
They play man to man against Waddle and Cheetah, man. Come on.
Yep.
You can't do that, So
back to that same thing we were just talking about.
Hey, that's why they pay him. That's why they pay him all that money to make them decisions, man. Because who gonna cover Cheetah 1-on-1, man to man?
No one.
Waddle man to man.
No
Sherfield and Craycraft are such good runners, and they catch it when you throw it. And man to man, they should just eat, And so, we're gonna destroy them on the secondary.
Absolutely. So then we'll go to the last part of the matchup, which it's Tua versus their safety Adderley. I'm going to take Tua right here. I think he's going to have a bounce back game. I think he's going to light the Chargers defense up like a Christmas tree. So if you don't have your Christmas tree up in your living room already, no worries. Tua will help put it up for you with a light show that's going to happen on Sunday night.
The thing that's really good about him is you play man-to-man defense, right? And so he does a great job of manipulating safeties with his eyes. And so they're gonna have to, they ain't gonna be able to watch the quarterback. They're gonna have to read routes, because if you're watching the quarterback, you're
done.
going right and he's throwing it left over your head. And so again, I think this defense sets up perfectly for who we are as an offense, and it really sets itself up really well for a Tua bounce back game, because what we do versus what they do.
I agree, man, wholeheartedly. It's going to be that bounce back. Um, Honestly, man, I got just a snippet on Tua. When I looked at the kid, dude, the kid does more with his eyes and his feet
Yes.
than most quarterbacks do
Yes.
with just what they have working around them.
Yes.
And they might have that natural ability. This kid does it like it's in like the back. It's like a natural ability he has to do this. Once you get this kid into rhythm, he will literally eat you alive. And that's what we've seen most of the season. The 49ers last week just took us off of our rhythm. We need to get back onto our rhythm, back to what we're doing well, and no one will beat us. If this team plays to their capability and plays complementary football, I believe that it's the best team in the NFL, and I believe it's the team that is the hardest to kill come playoff time. That being said, what do you think that your predictions are going to be for this game?
Well, two things. One is I wanted to go back to what you said about the safety. His ability to see it with his eyes and then flip his hips and throw the ball. I mean, It is absolutely amazing. It's so easy to manipulate the defense because he flips his hips so quickly. And, that's crazy considering the crazy hip injury that he had, right?
Yeah.
That he still is able to flip those things and get the ball going in that direction. And then the prediction, trying not to be a homer here.
Right.
I'm gonna say 31-23. I think
I like it, man.
They're gonna have some success offensively. They got a good quarterback. They got some weapons. They'll have. They're gonna score. But I do think that for all of the reasons we've been talking about, the bounce back, the need to win, playoffs in sight, you want to rebound as a team from that loss in San Fran. You're better than that, and so you gotta go out and reestablish yourself as a premier team. So the Dolphins.
Absolutely, man. Just to jump back a little bit, back what you were saying with Tua right there a little bit, and everybody knows that this matchup in this game is going to be Tua versus Herbert. It's going to be connected to their each other for the rest of their lives. The rest of their careers are going to be connected at the hip. I think this is the game that Tua separates himself from Justin Herbert and makes himself something that he's been all season, and that is a top MVP candidate in the NFL. And everybody who was like, Justin Herbert's rocket arm, oh my God, he's so good and so this and that, I think they're going to start to come down off of that hill just a little bit. When I looked at Tua from the beginning, his setup, his technique, everything he does is flawlessly better than Justin Herbert's. Justin Herbert's got a sloppy technique, a sloppy setup, and I think in the playoffs it's going to come to hurt him a little bit more. Those seconds are precious that he's wasting with your little ball rolls and everything you do that's extra that I just don't like. But we'll see what happens in the game here. I think Herbert has a great arm, probably a great future ahead of him as well, but not like our guy. I think our guy is he's a ringer, dude. He's a gamer. He's a baller. He'll come right in there, and he's got ice flowing through his veins. Anybody who had any doubts over the quarterback position will not have them after this football game. That's going to be my prediction, what I say, and I will take the Miami Dolphins winning 38-24. Dolphins.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
I'll say this. You made some really, really good points. And so I think that this will be interesting just from a football perspective. And let me be clear, we're going to win the game.
That's right.
But it will be interesting to see how Justin Herbert responds as well to this, right? It'll be interesting to see how both quarterbacks, people say, well, it's Tua versus the defense and Herbert versus our defense. And really, when you consider, as you described, the pathways of these two guys and where they're at and where's the narratives, this is really Tua versus Herbert. I mean,
That's right.
make no mistake about
Make
that.
no mistake about it.
It'll be very interesting to see how both of them respond to the idea of the game and then respond to what the other player is doing, even though you can't control what they're doing. Right.
Right.
So how does Tua respond if Herbert throws a touchdown? How does Herbert respond if Tua throws a touchdown? Those types of things is going to really be interesting to watch.
Oh, you know it, man. You know, as soon as Herbert throws a pick or has something happens, the camera's going to pan right over to Tua and look at his face. If Tua throws a touchdown or throws an interception or makes a mistake, the camera's going to pan right over to Justin Herbert and look at his face. We know what's going to happen here. We know the storyline. But as avid Dolphins fans, man, if I thought I was wrong about the kid, I would tell you I'm wrong. But I wholeheartedly believe in my heart of hearts and my soul that Tua is a better football player than Justin Herbert, and he's going to prove that to you on Sunday night.
Well, there's two things. One is that they both have different skill sets, and you can parse these guys out and say who has the best this and who has the best that. Clearly, Herbert has a better arm and the size and all of that, but that's not where it stops at. That is just the very beginning, the skills that God gave you.
That's
what
right.
really changes players is what you do with what you have, right? What do you do mentally? How do you prepare yourself? All of those things is really what separates us. When I was in high school and college, I played receiver with many guys who had better skill sets than I did. They were faster, maybe taller, maybe this, maybe that. But the one thing they didn't have over me is outworking me.
Absolutely.
I just believe that if I worked harder, I would be better. And I think with Tua, he is certainly proven to be a hard worker, coming back from that injury in such a short period of time that could have easily ended his career. And so his ability to work hard and his ability to process, in my mind, makes him a better football player. And he's tough as nails.
Absolutely, man. Like you said right there, he's got that mentality, like, he's going to bring his bag lunch. So if you're going to beat him, you're going to need to wake up pretty damn early in the morning to do so. That's what I like about the kid, and I've liked it about it since we drafted him and since he played at Alabama. I knew he was going to be a winner. I just didn't know how long it was going to take or where he was going to play, and I thank God every day it's in the aqua and orange, man. So I love it. Let's go, baby. So we're going to wrap things up here today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We love having you guys over here digging in the trenches. Me and Reggie love all of you guys wholeheartedly. We love to have you guys come on, share comments. We try to read each and every one of them as we possibly can. But then again, do you got anything to close us out, Reg?
Yeah, first, hey man, make sure you tell your friends about all this content knowledge. It's good over here.
It's good stuff.
Don't be stingy with it. Don't keep it to yourself. Tell your
That's
friends.
Right. Share.
Share and tell your friends to like and subscribe. My guy, he just does a great job of leading this show. And
thank you, sir.
So you guys come on in and help us out. And then ultimately for me, this game is really just comes down to Tua being Tua. If he bounces back, he plays well, no matter what the situation with the offensive line or anything else, we win.
Hell yeah, hands down, man. Same here. If Tua is Tua, we win the game. Like I said before, and you've heard me say lots of times on this channel and on numerous networks, spaces, whatever, if the Dolphins play their game and don't beat themselves, nobody's going to beat this football team. This will be a hard kill football team. And that's what I expect going forward. Other than that, man, you know what? We thank all you guys for being here. And Bobby, you can close us out at any point in time. This is all Fins Up over here. We love all of you guys. And don't forget, he who laughs last laughs best, baby. Dolphins is number one. They're going to come down and do the business up in on Sunday night down there in Los Angeles. Then we're going to come back home and we're going to go to Buffalo and we're going to give them everything they can possibly handle, man. So until then, me and Reggie thank all of you guys for being here, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out. He who laughs last, laughs best, baby. Dolphins, let's go, baby.
First kick, I snap into action. When I'm digging in the trenches, get dominated off the line of scrimmage. Read and react quick to make it early diagnosis. Hit you with the quick release like Marino Danny dopeness. Explosive change of direction in the true essence of Reggie Bush. From JT and ZT to DVP and AVG. Terminator to a quarterback, Hunter JP. Steve Ross, the boss, King Flow, and card slinging, gambling genius, Slick Chris Greer.